Hi, I'm Kate. I'm 54 years old, and I lost my dearest papillon, Starlight, last week. In the past 50 years, I have never been a pet or a dog lover. I had a wild experience with a cat when I was 7 years old, and it scarred me for life. But 4 years ago, my perception of those little, sweet creatures changed after my granddaughter, Star, gifted me a puppy. A year before I met Starlight, my husband passed away from cancer, and since he passed away, life became very lonely. Before Starlight came into my life, my daughter and granddaughter tried their best to visit once a month, but every time they left, my loneliness would hit me like a wrecking ball. I tried my best to get used to the empty house, but no matter how much I tried, I'd still cry to bed on some nights. One weekend, my daughter and granddaughter visited me as usual, and that was when they brought Starlight to her new home. They didn't even tell me they were coming with a puppy. Maybe if they did, I would have kicked against the idea. My granddaughter, Star, was the one who brought her in a small box, and as soon as she handed the box to me, I felt something move inside. I didn't know what it was, so I looked inside the box, and immediately our eyes met. My heart melted into a puddle. There she was, curled up in her blanket like a cute little rose flower. She was so innocent, and her brown, flabby ears complemented her pretty fur. For someone who never loved pets or wanted any, seeing Starlight for the first time brought me so much joy and happiness. You all should have seen me. I was so excited that I turned into a child that day, no kidding. I asked my granddaughter what we would call her, and she asked me to pick her name since she was mine. I thought of several beautiful names for her, but my head kept screaming, Starlight. So, I named her Starlight after my granddaughter because she had become the little light that lit up my world. Since that day, Starlight became my best friend and companion. We did literally everything together, and we went everywhere together. I didn't understand why people always referred to dogs as man's best friend until Starlight became a part of my life. She was so sweet and caring and loved to snuggle me. She loved kissing me, too, and her cute little barks were always music to my ears. Because of Starlight's presence, I began to see life from another perspective and looked forward to every new day. After I lost my husband, I had lost interest in so many things. It felt weird to live without him because he had been my companion for 32 years, but Starlight gave me a reason. Starlight took all of my loneliness away. I don't know how she did it, but she always had her way of cheering me up. She loved to sleep off on my lap and followed me everywhere, including the bathroom. Starlight didn't love to eat alone, she always wanted to eat with me around her. She would carry her plate with her mouth and make sure I was right by her side before she began eating. She loved to have her nails painted, and we often wore matching colors. I just cannot explain how that little angel changed my life. Not only did she bring me happiness on the first day we met, but she also made me happy for the 4 years she was alive. On my end, we never missed an appointment with the vet because I knew how important it was for her. I gave her heartworm medicine every time it was due and did everything a good mom would do for her dog. I remember last year, we went on a short vacation with my daughter and her family, but when we returned, I noticed that Starlight was not as vibrant as she used to be. I took her to the vet to find out what was wrong, and we found out that she was depressed. My poor baby wasn't happy that our vacation had ended. It was so sad, and because of her, I planned that we would go on a longer and more fun vacation this year, where she would play and have fun until she got tired. Little did I know that my dear Starlight would not live long enough for her next vacation. It happened that she snuck out of the house as usual, but this time, she did not come home alive. That afternoon, I was resting my head when I heard my neighbor's dog growl and bark aggressively as if it were in a struggle. Out of curiosity, I looked outside to see what was going on, and to my greatest surprise, I saw that my neighbor's bulldog had Starlight pinned under him, and she was also growling at him but terrified to death. I yelled Starlight's name and yelled for my neighbor while running out. Unfortunately, before I got to my neighbor's compound, the two dogs had gotten into a nasty fight. I hurried down to separate them, but I couldn't save my baby. Since my neighbor's dog had Starlight pinned under him, he had the upper hand in the fight. Starlight had a part of her neck ripped out, and her entire fur was covered in blood. She had sustained so many injuries, bites, and deep scratches, to be precise. Everything happened so fast, and I didn't even know when I got bitten in the process of saving my precious little thing. My neighbor had always been a grumpy young man, so he didn't care much about the attack because Starlight got into his property. I ended up rushing Starlight to the vet shop, and at the same time, I had to get the bites I had sustained treated. Unfortunately, because of how battered she was, Starlight could not make it. She had lost so much blood, and the bites were deep. My baby died while I was in the hospital receiving treatment. I cried so much that my eyes turned sore, and my granddaughter and daughter had to come that evening so we could take her back and bury her together in my garden. It's been a week now, and my life has not remained the same. Starlight's death brought back fresh pain, the kind I never wanted to feel again. My baby had always been as gentle as a dove, and she would never hurt anyone. I don't know why it had to be her. I pictured us living together for a very long time, but now that cannot happen because she is gone. I feel like my whole world has crashed again, and I don't know what to do. My daughter and granddaughter loved that dog. She was everyone's baby and companion. I feel so lonely without her, and every time I see her plate or her blanket, I can't help but cry. It feels like I lost a fellow human, and no matter how hard I try to act strong, the pain won't just go away. My daughter thinks it was stupid of me to get caught up in a dog fight, but I couldn't just watch my neighbor's dog attack my innocent baby. I miss her every day, and she will always have a place in my heart. She brought laughter, joy, companionship, and happiness to an aged woman's life, and because of that, I will never forget her. Farewell, my precious Starlight. I will miss you forever.